Ready whenever you are ready.
How does preserving African culture affect American society in the present day? Preservation of African American culture came with some challenges, but their history has made global impacts around the world. Start off with their background. Africa is known to be the mother country, the origin of mankind. The first ever human bones to ever be discovered were located in Ethiopia, in the East African Rift Valley. Architecture also originated from Africa in Egypt, as well as mathematics and astrology, which these philosophies are being studied today. Martial arts also originated from Africa. In Egypt, there are hieroglyphs on the walls that shows the different styles they learned. For a background of their religion, Africa has very deep roots in their religion because they believe in so many things. For example, gods. The first ever Bible that was ever written is located in the Orthodox Church in Ethiopia. For the culture, Africa has a very rich culture. For example, the language. One of Africa's most oldest languages is Egyptian. It dates back to 50,000 to 70,000 years ago. Egyptian is one of the world's first few languages, including Sumerian and Akkadian. All three languages are now extinct because they have no descendants that pass these on. A lot of Africa's culture is not separated in the Americas, which that's not how it's supposed to be. Africa, the culture is meant for everybody to learn from one another. Here's an artifact called the Bengal Queen. It originates from Africa dating back to 1850 to the 1920s. The Bengal Queen is a spiritual symbol to the Bengal tribe. This tribe were indigenous, and they were from the western part of Cameroon. My first solution to preserving African culture is promoting it into educational facilities. By assigning students these classes about African history and heritage, they'll give the full story behind African Americans' accomplishments. Instead of only covering the slavery part, it will discuss what great impact they've had, like music, art, food. In the Americas, the average young black male is a huge representation of his heritage. When he is faced with hate and ignorance, it is up to him to be the bigger man and make the right choice, and to be mentally and physically strong. James Baldwin was an African-American writer and a civil rights activist. He never went to college, but he graduated from DeWitt Clinton High School. His books inspired many young black males to rise up and face against people. One of them was called A Letter to My Nephew. He was heavily influenced by one of the most famous Black Panther Party members, Malcolm X. My second solution is to save cultural practices and languages, music, and art. This could be a better introduction to African knowledge. Finding more ancient artifacts will give the culture of Africa to be more known around the world, thus giving Americans a greater view into just the slavery part. Language is of great importance to humankind. If we can't understand one another, it'll have a negative impact on the world. By learning about Africa's language, it could give America a clear view on Africa's perspective on the Americas. It will give the opportunity to help one another, and with both their knowledge to combine together, you can create some solutions to the world's problems. Russ Reimer was an American writer who graduated from Mary's College in California. One of the books he read was called The Vanishing Voices, or he wrote. It tells of historic Mexican language that is now extinct, but it also talks about other languages as well. It also tells how important different languages are. African culture has mostly shaped America's everyday lives. From some of the food they eat and the music they listen to originate from Africa. Not knowing Africa's knowledge, most of the stuff people know wouldn't exist.
All right. Stop. All right, let's look at a couple of your questions here.
Yeah.
So for your first one, what information did you need that you were not able to find or locate?
Information that I was able to find was more artifacts that originated from Africa, especially the ones that held great importance to African Americans. I needed this because each artifact tells a great story. Some about a king, a writer, an explorer, a farmer,
the implications of your findings to your community?
The implications of my findings were written languages. For example, like the Egyptian language. It's one of the world's most earliest languages. It was first reported on hieroglyph scripts in the late 4th millennium BC. Language itself is like the highest form of communication in history. Without it, there would be no way to learn from one another.
All right, good job.